Hey, guys, Altavis Pelzer here, your voice manager. Super excited to be coming to you with another episode of the Speak Easy podcast, where we go behind the scenes and talking about what it means to be the successfully paid speaker or author. That part. I am your host, founder of the World Voice League, where we unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. But I know you saw the topic and the title, the world on pause, and it's interesting because when it comes to the speaking and author industry, we don't necessarily have to be on pause, but there's so many other things going on that can kind of be a bonus for us if we look at it the right way or if we handle it the right way. Right now, there's a lot of things being put on pause, or we have the opportunity to pause or delay a lot of different things that are going on right now. So with that being said, let's, dive into today's topic. So I've been in constant communication with my team, I think just about all year. Let's just be honest. There's been a lot that's going on this year. You guys know that we did our World Voice Summit, virtual summit in February. That's all February long. We came into the year doing our purge and really making sure that our clients and our team were, purging through whatever they needed to go through in their personal lives and in their businesses. And now we get to this point of Rona 19. And Rona has been out here just kind of, she's been hitting it from all angles. Now, there are some things that we can look at and say, we can live without for now. So it's not really a big deal. But then there's some other things that some people are rejoicing over and excited about. So, but when we think about the world on pause, that covers so much. But when we think about the world of speakers and authors on pause, ouch, 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 especially with there being so many opportunities for speakers and authors if you have set yourself up as a business to get some support and some help. So with that being said, I want to bring in my team member, Tandee. Hey, Tandee.
Hey, guys.
So for those of you that do not know, Tandee is one of, she is on the WVL team. And I'm actually going to let her introduce herself to you guys because she does it best.
Hey, guys. So I am Tandee Salter. As Altavis stated, I am a member of the World Voice League team. I am actually the leadership development expert for the team. I train leaders on how to use their voice to make an impact on the people that they serve every day and be confident in doing so. I'm also a best-selling author and podcaster, and I like ice cream.
I love that last part. But with this whole the kids not being in school, real talk, Speak Easy podcast listeners, I am about 3 seconds from like reaching out to our mayor on Twitter and asking for the schools to be back in session. I'm going to tell you why. I know you're going to say, but, we got to make sure everybody's, germ free and blah, 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 all that. I got it. But my youngest daughter has been baking like for 3 days straight. How am I supposed to survive this? I put it out on social media. I said, it's turning into Bird Box over here. I got to walk in the kitchen with a blindfold on because it's all of these different cookies and muffins and brookies in my kitchen. So that was a sidebar. It's been a tad bit tragic over here. How have things been over on your end, Tandee? Because I know you're in Atlanta. Well, not in Atlanta. You're in Georgia.
It's very interesting. It actually, unfortunately, doesn't look like people are quarantined. Like when I look out the window, it just looks like everyday life for them.
Yeah, that's the same thing here. It's interesting. And I know that they were talking about it down in Florida, how they were down at the beach. I'm like, what kind of quarantine we got going on here that the world is canceled and y'all at the beach?
In California too, I saw.
And California is got even more going on than everywhere else. I think right now they called out the National Guard for like California, New York. It was like one other place, but I think like New York had like almost last time I looked like 12,000 cases.
That is a huge amount.
Okay, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I don't want to go to New York, not right now. But when we talk about being canceled, listen, we already talked about how they were canceling events and they've been canceling flights. They are people that are taking flights are talking about how it's only 2 and 3 and 4 people on their flight. Like that's crazy right now. And we just got word that they're postponing the Olympics, which were set to be over in Japan. Uh, it's bananas, right? But they not canceling these student loans.
I'm gonna need them to go ahead and cancel them because they can have it.
I'm like, y'all canceling everything except these student loans. But I digress. One of the things that's been really interesting is that I've seen an increase of people going live on social media. Uh, because I guess you have some people that would feel as though or think that, man, and in this time, we're canceling live events. So how am I supposed to speak to my audience? How am I supposed to speak and do trainings and convert people? But I've already done one training this week. I have another one that I'm doing. Shout out to Black Speakers Network. I think I'll do another special training for DTI. Shout out to DTI Facebook community. Man, I love it though. Like the options are open, but when we think of cancel, man, it's just this doom and gloom that people have in their minds. What you think about that, Tandee?
I think it's amazing that more people are using Facebook and other technology to stay connected with their audiences, because it's definitely not all doom and gloom. I know it's a difficult time, and I know there's a lot that we may not understand or know what's going on behind the scenes, but to stay optimistic and still push forward is amazing. To still be able to say, you know what, I'm going to use Facebook or other technology to stay connected to my audience, because I saw it a couple of different times where it says instead of social distancing, it should be physical distancing, because we want to stay socially connected while keeping our physical distance to remain safe.
Exactly. And it's interesting. So I have been, I guess I haven't really been following the social distancing because I went out to Walmart for a taco run. Yeah, the babies wanted tacos. So went out to Walmart and Aldi's to pick up some supplies for tacos. Uh, enough that we could do 2 taco nights. So don't stress out. I didn't just get a little bit for just yesterday. But um, it wasn't too bad. But then I got a call from someone else who said that they were at Costco and it looked like the people were in the parking lot with hazmat suits and vests with signs saying that you got to be 6 feet away from people. They were getting the carts for you and they were sanitizing the carts, and she said it was crazy just walking into Costco and the experience itself. And I'm like, wow, I guess depending on where you live, it's going to be a little more hectic, especially if you're in an area that has an older community. I can say shout out to a couple different businesses who have been opening up earlier for our seniors, because of course our seniors are more at risk. And so they've been opening up a specific time just for senior citizens. Shout out to those who have been going and helping out and really like checking in on seniors. Shout out to the caregivers, okay, that are, opening their homes, that are going and checking in on the different loved ones who are in hospitals, those who are in nursing homes. Like, it's been pandemonium crazy, right? But shout out to all of you, because man, you definitely are stepping it up. And I know sometimes as caregivers, that's one set of voices that many do not hear. Like, I love when Roz talks about caregiving, because and those of you who may say, who is Roz? Roz Jones is actually another member of our team. I love when she talks about caregiving, because that's definitely an area that they need their kudos, because they can't be canceled in this time.
Absolutely. You can't even put them on hold. We need those people. And another thing that I absolutely love is the fact that Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Postmates, and all of those other services are still delivering to people, understanding that there's panic. And several of them are actually offering free delivery to help people out, and waiving fees for restaurants to help them stay in business, especially the small businesses, because they need it the most. Because small businesses are what keep our community going.
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, and shout out the real MVP. Shout out to all these. I was looking at their website, and because we were there yesterday, and we were talking about just how well they treat their employees, and how well they pay their employees. But shout out to all these, paying their employees an extra $2 an hour all the way up into the end of April.
What? I need to go sign up at all these where I sign up.
I was like, come through. Them, I think a couple other companies that were doing it as well. I know all these because I saw theirs specifically, but in a time where we're canceling, that's the highlight. But then on the low end, I've heard of someone who was working at a hotel, and they're, they were told we gotta let you go. Not even, oh, we can't pay you that at this time. We gotta cut back, or no, I gotta let you go. In the midst of Corona? Wow.
And that's the hard part about it. There are a lot of businesses having to let people go, or they're shutting down and can't even pay them for the time that they're off. And that's the hard part, recognizing that it does hurt some people because they're not able to work, they can't pay the bills, especially when they have children, or if they are the caregiver caring for older family members, that makes it very difficult. And so that's a reason why it's important for us to do things like talk about what's going on, and also remind people the importance of community, because a community is what's going to help in this time. Is having good, strong community. It's going to help people keep going, make sure they have things they need, like pick up the phone and check on your neighbors, your family members. Maybe even knock on the door. They're going to peek out the side of the curtain to see who it is, just to say, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? But it's community that's what's going to keep people going even during the hard times.
Now, it's the other piece of this is that I want to be sure that people, you don't cancel your dream because of the current circumstance. Because that's the other thing. When we start to see things around us that are canceled, things around us that are not falling into place, we feel as though they're falling out of place. We tend to cancel our dream and cancel our purpose. And analysis paralysis sets in, and procrastination sets in, and perfectionism sets in. And I was doing a training in a group on Monday night, and it was crazy because I was just like, we got to go back to basics. We can't We can't get all, excited about the hype and get excited about the the name scrolling across the bottom and all of this other stuff. Just take it back to basics. Have a conversation. Take it back to basics. Get people on your phone. Talk to people on the phone. One-on-ones. Do your emails. Go back to basics right now. Don't quit. Go back to basics and rebuild. And I'll even go as far as to say this is a great time for you to get back to the heart of why you're doing this.
Absolutely. I love how you mentioned don't get stuck on the name scrolling at the bottom and all of the hype, because I think this keeps a lot of people stuck. Don't let any type of crisis, whether it's something like this, where it's a health crisis, a natural disaster, or anything, stop you from going after your dreams. And understand it doesn't have to be super fancy, because there are millionaires out there without a website. There are people making millions of dollars without a website, without a blog. Did you know that Walmart started without an official logo and did very well? So don't be caught up on having everything perfect before you get started. Just get started and walk in your purpose, and your consistency is what's going to build your business and make people want to do business with you.
Oh, that part. That part is so important. I mean, even when we think about Amazon and we think on the picture of Jeff Bezos in the garage and it's saying Amazon on, spray painted on a sheet on the wall. Sometimes you got to go back to the beginning, where it all started. Because the reality comes in is we got to really ask ourselves the question, if we're so, if it's easy for us to cancel our dream, was it really our dream to begin with? If it's so easy for us to shut down, was it really our dream to begin with?
I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to have to say no, because something that's truly your dream is something that lives within inside of you. And it's not easy for you to quit. Even when you think you're going to quit, it won't let you. I remember I had days I was like, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. But deep in my gut, it's like a nudge that kept pushing me to go ahead and do it anyway. But when it wasn't my dream, it was very easy to give up and walk away from it. It was actually kind of freeing to walk away from a dream that it wasn't mine. But when it was really mine, it stuck with me and it kept pulling me. And I found myself coming back to it over and over again. So save yourself some time and follow your dreams and release everyone else's
dreams. That part. And even when I think about what you're doing now with leadership and women in leadership, man, I won't tell the story. I'll let you tell the story.
Oh, you want me to tell the story? Okay,
I want you to tell the story.
Time? Okay. Go ahead and get your popcorn for this story. So maybe about 4 years now, 4 years ago, I had this vision. I wanted to start doing leadership training. I was like, I'm going to do leadership consulting. I'm going to help women be more confident leaders. I'm going to do training, to the point where I wrote down all types of programs I wanted to do. I wrote down my target audience. I wrote down book ideas on leadership. And I shared it with someone who I admired, who I looked up to. And they told me that it was stupid, that it was a waste of time, that no one would want leadership training, that leadership training is not needed, and I needed to find something else to do. So at the time, it really, really crushed me and made me want to give up and quit. I kid you not, I was in tears, you guys, like bawling like a baby. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. And so here it is 4 years later. Well, maybe not exactly this, maybe last year, a couple months ago, I said, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing leadership training. I'm supposed to be doing leadership training. I need to help leaders. I need to help women be more confident leaders. I need to help entrepreneurs understand they are leaders. And so I started going back through the motions, pulling out old notebooks. Y'all know I'm a writer, always have been. I write everything down. So I have notebooks of ideas and thoughts. So went back to my old notebooks and found my notes and programs and trainings on leadership. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing leadership. And so I went to Alta Vista. I said, you know what? Let's do World Voice League leadership training. And she comes back and says, it's going to be a leadership academy. And so I'm like super excited because it's coming sooner than you think. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be because I have the knowledge and the experience. So, and it wouldn't let me go. So follow your dreams.
Exactly. I love it because it falls in alignment. When we find that there's something that's really burning on the inside of us, it's our desire, it's our purpose, it's our passion, then things will start to fall in alignment when we're connected to the right people. And so sometimes you need to keep going in this moment. You can't put the pause on in this moment because you're opening up the door. You're creating the table that somebody else is going to come and sit at. And so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be, listen, think about the process of creating a table. It's going to be difficult. You got some special tools you have to use. You got some special training you have to go through. But when you create that table, if you create it the right way, that table will last.
You can't even forget about the hard work and the sweat that you got to put in to build the table.
Exactly. And so
the training and the tools, you got to chop the wood and polish it and put it together. That's a whole lot of work and sweat.
Oh, and I didn't even talk about the polishing part because look, if you are a speaker and
Move
author,
out the edges. And,
come on, you always polishing and sanding and making sure. Sometimes you got to come on, this better, this is going to preach to somebody. You got to come back and sometimes put a new coat of gloss on it. Come on, to bring back the shine. Y'all better come on after it's been, going through whatever it's been going through over the years.
That's like one of my favorite things to do, don't judge me, is to watch HGTV. When they go in and they're renovating houses, they pull the carpet to find the original hardwood. They have to go through and repolish it and repurpose it so that it shines back to its original state. And so when you think about your role as a speaker or an author, you may pull back the curtains on your story and see the original pieces and they're like old and dusty. But when you start to polish them, they start to shine again and your story starts to shine, your voice starts to shine, and you begin to catch people's eyes, because once they finish with the house and they start showing it, people immediately take notice. Are these the original floors? These look amazing. They look so well maintained, not knowing how much work they put in to get them back to their original condition.
That's it right there. Man, when y'all think about what this moment in time is for us as speakers and authors, everybody else again may be on pause. This can't be a pause for you. This can be a time of, what books are you reading during this time? What books are you listening to on Audible? What podcasts are you listening? Well, we know you're listening to the Speakeasy podcast. Yes. But what other podcasts are you listening to? Who are you having conversations with? What communities are you a part of? You can't put the pause. Sometimes you just got to restructure some things and redo some things. So instead of me doing live events, I'm doing virtual trainings. Instead of me speaking live, I'm speaking virtually. Guess what? I'm in front of even more a bigger audience with doing it virtually, as opposed to me going and doing it at a live event. The group that I was in front of last night, there was 150 people in the group. The group that I'm doing a training for on Thursday, there's 8,000, no, almost 10,000 people in the group. 10,000. So I'm doing a training for a group of 10,000 people. What event was I going to be doing with 10,000 people? And were they going to have the opportunity to access it later on and connect with me and ask questions? And they weren't necessarily going to have that opportunity.
Ma'am, you're not, I don't know about you, but I know about me. The introvert in me will not let me attend an event with 10,000 people. I'm sorry, that is too much peopling. I can do.
That's a lot of people. And when the number came to my head and came out of my mouth, I was like, "Woof, yeah, that's a lot." Listen, I've been to events where it's a couple hundred.
Yeah, I can go with a couple hundred people maybe, and people a little bit there, but I don't know about 10,000. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
Man, oh man, and it's sometimes we need this moment where things around us are paused so we can have something spark on the inside of us. Sometimes there's things on the inside of us or within our business, within our brand, within our journey that need to be paused because we need to think of an alternative. We need to get back in that creative space. Because sometimes things become sometimes things become it's us doing things on autopilot.
Ooh, you know what? That's important to mention because, we get so used to doing things on autopilot and they become ineffective. And for many people, this time of quarantine, for those that are following the quarantine, it is a time to pause. It's a time to relax and get out of doing things on auto mode and really pay attention to what you're doing and how you're doing it. Sometimes it may be you'll see that it's time for a shift. And I think it's important to recognize that. And so I did a video the other day on Facebook and I was like, you know what? It's not really a quarantine. It's more of strategic positioning because in many cases you need to be in the house, whether it's to rest because you're a workaholic, whether it's to write that book you've been procrastinating about, or maybe start that business you've been saying you wanted to start, or even just to finish reading a book you wanted to read. So you've been strategically positioned in your home to really get some stuff done, whether it's rest or read a book.
That's it. Oh, a lot of people needed that rest.
Yes, I can tell.
A lot of people needed that rest. So I'm excited. I definitely wanted to come and talk about this conversation because I see so many people frustrated. When things change, we tend to get frustrated, or we tend to there's times where we only see the negative of things being on pause or the situation at hand, and we can't see the silver lining. We can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so with us not knowing what's going to happen next, there's many people, and I'm getting messages. I don't know about you, Tandee, but I'm getting messages in my inbox of people who are just saying, I'm just lost. I don't know how to get revved back up. I don't know how to get that spark. I don't know where to find inspiration for my consistency. I don't know, they're kind of like at this loss. And these are women who have been in business for 5-10 years, who have never gone through a situation like this, and needing some type of inspiration during this time. So I definitely can't pause because I'm helping them.
That's so super interesting that you say that, because there is someone I haven't talked to in about 5 years. They sent me a message yesterday to say that they had still been watching me and they still enjoy my videos. And I don't even do videos often. I do them when I feel like I have something to say or something that needs to be shared. And it's like, so they've still been reading my posts and watching the videos when I do them. And it's like encouraging, but also a reminder to other people as well as don't give up. Even if you think no one is watching, someone is watching, even if they're quiet in the corner. Like, this is someone from 5 years ago. I had no idea they were still paying attention to me. But it goes to show that your voice really does matter, and you are leading and influencing someone, even if they never comment or share your videos or posts.
That part. Yes. Don't get this, especially, look, let's be honest. Facebook today had a glitch and all the live videos are gone, baby. They gone. They disappeared. Okay? Vanished. But you got to understand that, yeah, there's going to be people that connect. I went live this morning and it was a struggle. And then I had somebody who somebody shared out the broadcast, had somebody come in that was like, oh my goodness, I just stumbled upon your video and I am following you now. Like, this is awesome. Thank you for sharing this. You're going to have the opportunity to connect. You never know who's going to see your video. You never know who's going to see your post. And we all know we got lurkers.
Exactly. And so it's so funny though, like, lurkers, like, they usually get a bad rap, but in some cases they can be really good.
Right? Lurkers' lives matter. Okay?
Exactly. They're watching for a reason.
Exactly. There's a reason why they're connected. There's a reason why they're watching. And they may not say anything to you today. They may not say anything to you next week, next year, but there's something that they may say to somebody else about you. Oh, I learned that from Tandee Salter. And then somebody says, well, who's Tandee Salter? And they go and look up Tandee Salter. And now that person becomes a follower, a friend, a fan, a client, or someone you can network with. Like, we never know how our name is being put out there. I know one of the prayers that I say over my business is that my name is going into rooms that are being prepared for me and is being in conversations of people that want to meet me or need to meet me for whatever the reason. And if it's a conversation that I don't need to be a part of, shut it down right now. Shut it down right now. I don't want that. I don't need that. I'm good. But it's definitely going back and looking at it and saying, yeah, no, there's no pause for us, you guys. Sorry, not sorry. I know you thought it was going to be, smooth sailing, right? We were all just going to stay home and eat all the kids' snacks and watch Netflix and chill. But we got work to do.
Absolutely. We have work to do. And it's so, like, another point to that where you were saying, like, someone else will tell people about you. So last year I quit my job and I actually increased the income I had in my business, but I did very, very, very little actual marketing. Majority of my business came from referrals, which means that people are watching and people are talking, which means that when I do have clients come in, I'm delivering to them and always operating in integrity and excellence. So don't just show up to show up. Don't just do something to do it. Do it with full integrity and excellence, because people really are talking about you. And you have to remember that word of mouth is still the most powerful form of marketing there is, because I did no Facebook ads, no Instagram ads. I don't do videos often. I did no LinkedIn ads. I didn't send many promotions to my email list. My clients came from word of mouth. So remember, word of mouth can build you or destroy you. So it's up to you how you perform.
That's it. Oh my goodness, I love this conversation. But guys, we just wanted to come and give you guys a little inspiration. We got this. You got this. I understand. You wish you was going to be able to just lay back on the couch, but no, we got work to do. Some of you need to be writing books in this season. You need to be going ahead and getting some properties. Maybe you're the one that's supposed to be going and buying up space for people to have events. So when it gets back to that point, you can go ahead and be that person that they reach out to. Whatever it is, I definitely want to make sure that you guys know that we support you. We want to hear your part of the conversation. What are you doing? What have you had to put on pause? And what are you fighting to not pause during this season? Join the conversation over in the free Facebook community by going to bit.ly/Speakeasy Podcast Community. That's wrong. World Voice Community. We want to make sure that you join the conversation. World Voice Community is a free Facebook community where we have conversations with people from all over the world about topics that really do matter to you. With that being said, I thank you so much, Tandee, for being my co-host today.
Absolutely.
Yes. And guys, be on the lookout. Even more things are coming. More interviews, more podcast episodes. I have people who are eager to share their story with you. And with that being said, I appreciate you. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.